I got into UCLA as a graduate student in '71. And just prior to that, I was doing these kind of formal studies of the outsides of buildings, abstract photographs for the most part. I couldn't make any sense of the iconography. I couldn't figure out why one would use one kind of image over another kind of image. So I decided I would just photograph. At the same time, I'm flooded with imagery of art. I'm seeing photographs of paintings, I'm seeing photographs of sculpture, and I'm seeing photographs that are parts of conceptual works. And so then I was thinking of some kind of way of working where I could integrate the kind of vocabulary that I was seeing in painting, in performance. For the Vandalism series, I started painting in abandoned houses, which at the time in the early '70s, there were a lot of in Los Angeles. I had photographed a silver butane tank, and I made a black and white print, and there's just something extraordinary about when you photograph something silver and you make a silver print. But the photograph wasn't very interesting. So I went to the paint store and I bought a bunch of cans of silver and aluminum spray paint, and I very quickly realized I couldn't just paint anything I wanted silver because it all belonged to people. And I saw an abandoned house. So I went in there initially just to spray paint stuff silver. And so one thing leads to another. It just all came together that I could make work that was about the kind of vocabulary that I was seeing in photographs of painting and minimalist sculpture and performance, that I could make work that was about that without pretending it was that. And even the painting, it's like, I'm not a painter. I can make a really stupid set of painting marks and hopefully make an interesting photograph about how naive I am as a painter. I titled them Vandalism series because at the time I thought it was vandalizing a tradition in photography. This kind of intervention was just like not a thing photographers did. It was like forbidden in a certain way. The Zuma series is 1977-78. One day I was running at Zuma Beach and I came across this abandoned house, and I'd kind of reached a point of diminishing returns with the vandalism work where I couldn't really think of anything more interesting to do with it, but now I could do color. So initially I started photographing in there, and it was just a house that had been abandoned. One day I showed up and it had been set on fire. It was full of tree branches and water dripping from the ceiling, and I thought, you know, what an ambitious arsonist, because there wasn't a tree within, you know, several blocks of the house. And every time I would show up, it seemed like it would burn again and again. And it was fine for me because the soot would just cover up what I'd already painted, so I'd have another surface to paint on. I was up there and a fire truck came by, and they got out the ladder, and the guy came up there, and he told me they'd been setting it on fire for practice. One day I showed up and it was gone. They tore it down. So that was the end of that body of work. I didn't have to worry about diminishing returns because they finished it for me. I was more interested in specificity and abstraction. And that relationship is really important, I think, through all of my work, and I think it's important to a lot of photography. So in terms of looking at the photographs, I'm interested in the specifics. I'm just as interested in the broken glass on the floor or where somebody's kicked a hole in the wall as anything that I do in the room.